Today, we're going to take a look at the Softears Volume S, a $300 IM that got attention last year for its warm, natural sound and a low and high impedance mode. Big thanks to Hi-Fi Go for loaning this unit, but as always, I will share my thoughts and opinions. Starting with the unboxing experience, Softears delivers a premium packaging overall, where the box is huge and everything inside feels well thought out. Right off the bat, you are greeted with the Volume S. For the accessories, you get a solid leather zipper case that offers good protection and even has a mesh compartment for accessories like DACs or silica gels. You get a translucent silicone ear tips that has a grippy texture which improves fit and noise isolation. It feels softer and more flexible compared to the standard dark gray silicone ear tips that feels like generic ear tips that is easier to insert and remove in your ears. For the other accessories, you get a identification card, a cleaning cloth, and a balanced 4.4mm termination and a tuning tool that is used to switch between low and high impedance modes. So moving on to the build quality, the Volume S uses a 3D printed resin shell with a matte finish, and for the faceplate, it has a carbon fiber here and it has a metal finishing right at the outer edges. Now for the cable, it is a 4-core braided cable which is really high quality and thick and durable, and it doesn't tangle easily. But the one gripe that I have about this cable is that there is microphonics above the chin slider over here when it rubs against your clothes, which could irritate you when you're listening with music. You could fix that problem by using the chin slider provided here in order to reduce the microphonics. It also has an 2-pin connector, which is very easy to plug inside the connection of the IEMs. For the comfort, it has a decently large shell that may not be suitable for people with smaller ears. But for me, it is comfortable enough that I could use it for several hours at a time with no discomfort. Now, let's move on to the sound quality. Let's start first with the low impedance mode, where in my opinion this is the best tuning for the Volume S. Since for the bass, you're getting a nice warmth and impact, whereas the sub bass has good weight and extension. For the mid bass, it gives a satisfying punch without sounding bloated, and it feels very natural because of its dynamic driver. Now for the mid range though, these vocals sound very natural and warm. It also feels like intimate, where like the singer is just right in front of you. For the instruments, they give a 3D presentation that helps with immersion. Now, for the treble, it is a smooth, non-fatiguing that gets a drop-off at the air region. It doesn't get harsh or sibilant, which makes it great for longer listening sessions. However, there is a trade-off, as I said a while ago, that you lose some air and sparkle on the higher end, where it is not the most detailed or analytical tuning. Now, moving over to the high impedance mode, where you twist this screw over here to the right in order to achieve it. For this tuning, it switches to a more balanced and brighter analytical sound, where the bass and the lower mids are reduced while the upper mids and treble increases in volume. Personally, I found this mode to sound a little bit thin, where you lose some of that fullness and natural, which makes the low impedance mode really enjoyable to listen to. It doesn't sound harsh or shouty, but it just lacks that richness and fullness. I also had to turn up the volume to get the same loudness as the low impedance mode. That said, I can see some people preferring this if they want a cleaner and more analytical sound. Now, moving on to the technicalities, the Volume S does a really good job for sibilance in either modes, where it is very controlled and I rarely noticed any harsh sibilance. For the soundstage, this is above average for an IM where it gives a decent sense of width and depth that adds immersion in movies or music. For the imaging, it is also very accurate as you could easily pinpoint where the sounds are coming from even in busy tracks or in game situations. The separation is also handled well where instruments maintain their own space without blending up or mixing up together. In conclusion, the Softears Volume S is a balanced, warm IM that strongly embraces a musical warm U-shape tuning, which emphasizes enjoyment and prolonged listening sessions rather than pure analytical performance. The low impedance mode showcases the Volume S at its best, which is very versatile across different music genres. While for the high impedance mode, it provides a flexibility for you to tune the IM where it delivers a clearer and more balanced option. Though it might not be for everyone, because even though it increases its clarity, it decreases the warmth and overall fullness, as I perceive it as being too thin, which sacrifices richness and naturalness. Now, so So, thank you for watching. If you have any questions, comment down below and don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye!